Hey everyone! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kareen, and I have some exciting news for you. How do I know it's exciting? Because I said so. I'm sorry about that. But this is the official introduction to my platform, podcast, page, whatever you want to call it. But I'm inviting you to join me in this space that I've created called Unfiltered. And it's spelled Unfeeltered. And I will be discussing anything, everything from trending topics, friendships, relationships, coworkerships. We can talk about everything but politics, religion, and other people's business. What's more exciting than my first podcast post? My first guest. Check it out. So I had been meaning to get this started for a while now, but there's no better time, no better day than today. Along with introducing my channel, I also want to introduce my first guest, my cousin Brandy. Hey Brandy. Hey. And Brandy also wants to introduce her project, which is called
Bouncing Back with B.
Bouncing Back with B. Okay. So, can you tell us what is Bouncing Back with B?
Definitely. So originally, it was something that I was kind of playing around with on my phone. Since I'll say COVID, there's been a lot of different tragedies, traumas. Everyone's been going through their own personal issues. And I found that I was becoming numb in regards to just keep hearing terrible news. Either it's a loss of a family member, a friend, people losing their jobs. It just became overwhelming. And one day I was sitting on my phone and I said, what is this AI kind of thing about? And I created a character. This character actually fights villains who attack everyday people. And I named the superhero B after myself. And I started off with, telling my story and then how I transformed into B.
Okay. So, in other words, you are the superhero.
Yes.
Okay. And you're fighting the villains.
Yes.
Right? And the villains could be like anything and anybody. Right? Is that what it is? Like, so so the villains is it like a metaphor for like, I guess life? You know what I mean? Like life's challenges.
Well, right now I have specific villains. One of the villains' names is Panic. Panic has like these powers that are flickering, electric, and basically it overstimulates the mind and causes confusion, fear, and loss of control. Then I have another villain called Whelm. And Whelm is a shadowy monster that multiplies and overshadows you. So a lot of the villains are basically things that we all experience that we can associate with, but I made them into like these creepy characters just for the animation series itself.
Okay, so villains are kind of like inner beings?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that. So it's kind of like a battle with yourself.
It is battles with yourself, but sometimes even within yourself, it feels like everything around you is happening. So it's not just, the thing that B likes to do is show you that it is an inner battle. It is a mind control. It's not really someone attacking you. It is just sometimes internal. And how we have to take back control. So hence the word bounce back would be.
Okay. I like that. I really do. I really do. And I am actually really, really happy that you started this, right? Because that's something I've been promoting, like pushing to people our age. Mm-hmm. Like we need hobbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the guys do it all the time. The guys meet up, you know, and they do things, they have hobbies, and then, you know, we kind of sit around like, oh, when are they getting back, whatever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, you know, find that thing, and there's no better time than now, right? Because at some point it might be too late. And as you said, that's what kind of motivated me to find my hobbies and things that I like to do, because you know, of a lot of like the tragedies, you know, deaths and stuff happening around me. And, you know, it just made me think like, you know, today is a blessing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, how do I know that I can do it tomorrow? Right? Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. But, you know, but what about the people who don't make it to tomorrow?
Absolutely.
You know, what do their project lists look like?
Yeah.
You know?
Or some people don't even want to take a chance because, you know, we're so programmed, like I have to go to work, I have to, you know, take care of my family, that, you know, like one of my other villains is called burnout. And burnout, you know, that's basically what he does. He capitalizes on those things that you're just always being there for other people, but you're not there for yourself, and you're burning and draining your energy.
Yeah, I know about that. I know. I see burnout just about every day. That's a whole different story for a whole different day, right? And this is my cousin. This is my father, brother, daughter. Okay, my father, brother, daughter.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. FBD. Right? FBD, father, brother, daughter. Yes.
For sure.
So, Unfiltered, the name actually came to me in a dream. Seriously. I actually woke up and texted it to myself so I wouldn't forget. And so the reason for creating this channel is just sort of, I want to say like every day, and especially since COVID, right? We've been kind of like isolated, and then sometimes, you know, I have things that I want to talk about, that I need to talk about, right? And then a lot of times we're going through something and we think it's like some type of unique something, you know what I mean? And you're like, and then when you finally express yourself to somebody, you're like, you know, I've been really dealing with this. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, me too. And you know what I mean? And then you try to, you know, you find out like how many other people are experiencing the same thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's like, I wanted to create a space where, you know, we can get together and talk about those things. I want to talk about parenting, motherhood, specifically, relationships, marriage, friendships, whatever, you know, and y'all can chime in too, you know what I mean? To like send me a message, you know, hey, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. And we can, you know, we can do that. Anything else you want to add, you want to share about?
Yeah, I actually do.
Okay.
So another initiative that I am looking into is I wanted to know how I could serve better. So I wanted to use my platform with Bounce Back with B to do something that was near and dear to my heart, which is helping women who are battered, or not just women, people who are in battered situations. And from one who has experienced that in my lifetime, sometimes you might need just to get out of the home and you don't have enough. So what I would like to do is offer a voucher for an Uber, or if you need a hotel stay for 1 to 3 days maximum, or even just a food voucher, something like that. And I was going to use the proceeds from what I earned from the comic strip and the animation with Bouncing Back with B, that series, to fund that as well, as long as with any donations I receive in the future.
I like that. That is very selfless.
I'm not selfless, but you know, I've been hearing this message that's been coming to me. It's like, if you want something, you want things in your life, it's good to serve.
So I think we should always try to do the right thing and try to help each other if we're in a position to do so, that is, right? You know, this is again, Unfiltered. This is the intro. This is one of many. This is day 1. So just look out for more. I'm going to be doing solo videos. Sometimes I might have a guest in person or a live chat, you know, but like I said, you can message me. I'm going to have the information below, And then I'm going to also have the information for Bouncing Back with B. So you can check it out and like, follow, and I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. And, I hope we can do this again. I like how, we just kind of flow. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Kind of flow.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing that again.
Yes.
All right.